Speaking of which, we talked about the Washburn fire in Yosemite just a couple of minutes ago. Let's go ahead and look at the visible satellite imagery. I wanted to call your attention to the area kind of east of the I-5 emblem there in Seattle. If you look really closely, so north of Fresno, east of San Francisco on our visible satellite imagery from yesterday. Right there is the wildfire smoke from the Washburn fire, and you can see the prevailing wind initially wafting that smoke to the east and then driving it a little bit to the west. But in any event, firefighters there have their hands full trying to secure that before it gets out of hand. Closer to home, as we take you up into the northwest, we had some morning clouds and even some showers across the eastern part of the state yesterday afternoon. Those have dissipated. By the way, an update on the drought conditions here in the northwest. We have seen continued improvement even in some of the areas hardest hit. I wanted to call your attention to this dark maroon shading that you see here. That is the exceptional drought here across the state of Oregon. If you remember about 3 months ago, that area encompassed something like 11 counties here across central Oregon. We have really shrunk that thanks to the late spring and now early summer repeated showers that we've had even across the parts of central Oregon, across the high desert. So great news there. But of course, we are going into our driest time of the year. And with that said, and with warm weather in the forecast, increasingly warm, the fire threat will continue to ratchet up, at least across central and south central Oregon. That said, as we take you up into the Cascades, it's gorgeous out there this morning. In fact, look at that. Blue sky above a little bit of marine layer that has tried to push its way into the Oregon Cascades. That's a look, of course, of Mount Jefferson, right smack dab in the center of your screen, and the three sisters off to the left across central Oregon. It looks gorgeous out there this morning, right? The central Oregon forecast, by the way, is mostly sunny and maybe a smidge warmer than yesterday. I combined a city there. Benville. How about Bend and Prineville? 85 this afternoon, 88 in Madras. Through the Columbia River Gorge, it'll be another really nice day. Increasing west wind this afternoon from Hood River out towards the Dalles on the order of about 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts is what we're looking for again today. It'll be a mild to pretty warm day, getting up to near 90 degrees in the Dalles. At the Oregon coast this morning, partly cloudy, just gorgeous. Right after the morning cloud cover burns off, I've got you up near 70 degrees in Astoria. Generally in the low 80s up and down the I-5 corridor. That's what FUTURECAST is showing us today. Close to 80 in Longview, about 82 or 83 here in Portland. We hit 82 yesterday, so in the same ballpark. Same story as we go farther south along the Willamette Valley and across central and eastern Oregon, you folks in the 80s this afternoon. All right, let's fast forward into tomorrow because we do have one hot day in our forecast. That would be tomorrow. FUTURECAST spits out 95 for Salem, 93 for Portland. It's possible even here in Portland we inch a degree or two higher depending on where you are. Some backyard thermometers will probably hit 95 tomorrow. So Monday's the hot day, and then we get a bit of a wind shift that will allow us to cool down as we go into Tuesday. And then beyond that, there's our little heat-induced trough of low pressure that sets up here across the west coast tomorrow. That quickly shifts east. The breeze turns onshore during the day on Tuesday. And so with that being said, the rest of the week is actually quite comfortable. And as we look forward to next weekend, the clouds increase a little bit. There may actually be some sprinkles Saturday night or Sunday, but that is still a long way off. And this time of the year, weather systems that show promise in days 7 and 8 often stay on days 7 and 8, which means they never get here. So in other words, the status quo is pretty much the forecast, guys. We've got one hot day. Tomorrow I've got us up near 95 degrees, and then we back down to the more comfortable stuff. We may or may not get to 90 on Tuesday, but certainly it will be cooler, and certainly even cooler on Wednesday, and we're back to, the comfort zone.
The comfort zone, I like it. In the 80s, mid-80s.
Sunny.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect.
That's good
what
weather.
we love about here.
It's perfect time of the year. I love it. Thanks, Chris.